I'm delighted to be joining you today as part of Red Hat's virtual launch event, and also delighted to be able to talk with you about open solutions and innovation. My name's Jean Staten-Healy, and I'm the Director of Linux and Open Virtualization at IBM. We're doing lots of exciting activities jointly with Red Hat around open technologies, which we think are going to enable you to get real business value out of your IT systems as we move forward into the next era of computing. IBM and Red Hat have been working together to help promote open solutions for over 13 years, first with Linux and then with many other open technologies. We have joint offerings together, joint partners, and most importantly, joint customers. Both IBM and Red Hat are part of a wide range of open source communities too, including most recently the KVM open source community, which is the Open Virtualization Hypervisor. Last week, IBM opened our first KVM Center of Excellence in Beijing in China at a press launch, which also included executives from Red Hat China. And at this facility, we will be able to showcase IBM-based solutions, including Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization and IBM Pure Systems. At Red Hat Summit in June, Robert LeBlanc from IBM made a prediction. He made this prediction during his keynote about key technology areas for the next era of computing, and which open source projects would play a major role in these areas. Robert is now an IBM Senior Vice President, but he also led IBM's original Linux strategy work many years ago, and he keynoted at some of the very first Linux Expo events. And at Red Hat Summit, Robert talked about some of the key technology challenges facing businesses today, including how to share resources better, how to handle massive amounts of data, and how to support a dispersed mobile workforce. These lead to three areas where open technologies can play a major role. They can play a role in open virtualization, big data, and open cloud. And the key open technologies are KVM for open virtualization, Hadoop for big data, and OpenStack for open cloud. Well, it's 6 months later since Red Hat Summit, so let's look at what happened in each of these areas and how these predictions have played out so far. Let's start with open virtualization and KVM. Over the last year, we've seen a major surge in the adoption of KVM. One of the trackers of the market adoption of KVM that we have found very interesting is the x86 Data Center Survey, the Gabrielle Consulting, which is an IT analyst firm, this survey that they do every year. They survey over 300 customer IT professionals around the world, and recently they have been including questions on x86 hypervisor usage. One of the most surprising results from the survey, which you can see in the top left of this chart, is that over 2/3 of customers are using multiple x86 hypervisors. And in the bottom left of the chart, you can see that KVM is being used somewhere by 1/3 of the customers, and that customers who are choosing KVM as their standard solution, this has increased over the past 2 years from 3% to 6%. That's the biggest increase of any hypervisor. So we know that KVM momentum is growing. We're also seeing many more KVM customer references appearing. IBM and Red Hat announced at Red Hat Summit 6 months ago Casio Computers, the Japanese electronics giant who has chosen KVM and Red Hat virtualization software on IBM systems to optimize its IT infrastructure, and also to provide a foundation for cloud computing. Web is another customer. Web is a supply chain management company in Brazil, and they have chosen Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization and IBM Blade Center for its testing and production environments. They wanted to reduce costs and improve reliability. And Vicenza, which is a managed service provider in the UK, is also using Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization and Virtual Bridge's Verde software on IBM System X to deliver resilient, low-cost virtual desktops. And now we're seeing very broad industry support for KVM, including over 250 members of the Open Virtualization Alliance, and also successful KVM forums and overt workshops around the world that are attended by hundreds of people. So what's next? Well, with today's announcement of Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization 3.1, KVM production systems can now exploit advanced features such as live storage migration, disk and network hot plug, and live snapshots of virtual machine images. This matters since virtualization is used to provide flexible IT infrastructures and the platform for cloud computing. It also enables virtual disks to be migrated across storage elements, new disk and network devices to be added dynamically while systems are still running, and also live snapshots to be taken of running virtual machines with zero downtime. These new features match well with the hardware capabilities provided by IBM's PureFlex system, which offers fabric-based computing with a choice of compute, storage, and networking components built around a high-speed fabric. Virtual disks can be moved between different storage components, and new storage and networking components can be hot plugged. The net of all of this is to deliver a complete virtualized system ready for cloud computing. The second area is big data. The amount of data in the world is exploding at a phenomenal rate, and it needs a special type of data software to be able to handle it. Hadoop is an open platform for big data applications. It's an open software framework for data-intensive distributed computing. Big data has three characteristics which need to be taken into account. First, there are massive volumes of data generated by all the embedded sensors, consumer devices, and interconnected computers around the world. Secondly, the speed of generation of new data, so it's a challenge to keep current. And third, the variety of data, from highly structured databases to unstructured data such as images and video. Hadoop is a project hosted by the Apache Foundation, developed to solve these large-scale data challenges of the Internet era, and also to enable cost-effective analysis of a wide variety and large volume of information to gain insights that were not previously possible. Hadoop is a very powerful tool which also provides an open platform on which to build enterprise applications which are more easily used by businesses. More than 160 organizations are already self-declared Hadoop customer references who have publicly stated on the Hadoop Wiki that they are using Hadoop for educational or production uses. You'll find companies such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Yahoo on this website, all using Hadoop to process big data. IBM contributes to Hadoop development through the open source community, as well as building offerings such as InfoSphere Big Insights, which deliver an enterprise-ready version of Hadoop, and IBM Platform Symphony software, which can accelerate Hadoop workloads, as shown here in the SWIM performance benchmarks tested on Red Hat Enterprise Linux with KVM. IBM has recently defined a big data platform which blends traditional technologies that are well suited for structured, repeatable tasks together with complementary new technologies that address speed and flexibility and are ideal for ad hoc data exploration, discovery, and unstructured analysis. So you'll see that within the big data platform that IBM has, Hadoop is there, which enables analytics on data at rest by storing any data type in a low-cost, scalable engine, as well as stream computing, which enables analytics on data in motion by continuously analyzing massive volumes of streaming data with sub-millisecond response time to take action in real time. and data warehousing, which enables the storage and analysis of large volumes of structured information with workload-optimized systems designed for deep and operational analytics. One of these data warehouse offerings is the new IBM Pure Data System for Analytics, which is built on Red Hat Enterprise Linux and uses Netezza technology to provide a data appliance for complex analytics. The result is a higher level of performance and scalability, along with fast and easy setup and a simplified user experience enabling faster and more valuable business insights. Finally, let's turn to the open cloud. OpenStack is seen as a phenomenal amount of growth and interest over recent months, from thousands of attendees at OpenStack summits around the world to hundreds of thousands of downloads of OpenStack code. OpenStack has now launched as an independent foundation with several $million in committed funding. IBM and Red Hat are both platinum members of the OpenStack Foundation, along with other industry leaders such as Rackspace and HP, and we are both members of the OpenStack Board of Directors. And separate to the board is a fully independent and elected OpenStack technical community. In September, OpenStack released Folsom, its 6th release, and everyone is now hard at work on the next release, Grizzly. As with other open source projects, IBM has programmers contributing to OpenStack code as part of the community, including optimization for KVM, dynamic hypervisor support, and localization for the Chinese market. 2 IBMers have been named as core contributors, and 140 IBMers are collaborating across IBM in OpenStack activities. In parallel with OpenStack development, we are also helping customers and partners build private and public clouds using our current portfolio of smart cloud offerings, which run on Red Hat Linux and KVM. IBM Smart Cloud Entry is a robust cloud software stack for System X with self-service, automation, and simplified management, which has recently completed a very successful controlled release customer program in China, running on KVM and Red Hat Enterprise Linux. IBM Smart Cloud Provisioning is a low-touch, highly scalable software for building private and public clouds and quickly provisioning new instances. One recent example of a customer using Smart Cloud Provisioning is SLTN, a cloud service provider in the Netherlands. SLTN needed to provide their clients with private cloud services that supported both legacy and cloud-based applications under a single platform. To do this, they used IBM Smart Cloud Provisioning, running on Red Hat Enterprise Linux with KVM, and IBM Systems and Storage to build a high-performance, reliable cloud computing data center. Smart Cloud Provisioning software also enabled SLTN to simplify management and delivery of virtual machines on either KVM or VMware and provide clients with rapid access to cloud-based services. This enabled provisioning of virtual machines in seconds and reduced administrative time by 50 to 70%. Finally, IBM's public cloud, IBM Smart Cloud Enterprise, is built on top of KVM and Red Hat Enterprise Linux and supports both Linux and Windows guests. So I think you would agree that we have come a long way in just 6 months since Red Hat Summit. We're making great progress in all 3 areas of open virtualization, big data, and the open cloud. IBM and Red Hat are both committed to developing open technologies and helping our customer gain real business benefit. We believe that open computing is key to the next era of computing, since that offers choice, innovation, and lower costs. You can find out more about these open technologies of KVM, Hadoop, and OpenStack on the Red Hat and IBM websites, or follow us on Twitter. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us today, and we hope that you will learn about, explore, and choose an open source approach for your next era of computing.